Hello, hello. Welcome to Alaric Channel's weekly news update for the week of April 20th through 26th. This video is part of the new experiment I'm trying to do, where it is doubling as both a weekly channel trailer for the YouTube channel for returning subscribers, and is a Ko-fi trailer to help entice people to the Ko-fi a little bit, if you are watching the Ko-fi trailer. So, in this video we will be going over, a little bit of this week's planned uploads for the YouTube channel to give people an idea of the content we make. We're then going to transition into talking a little bit about the Discord vote and what's going on over there with that and what games we're going to play in the future. We're then going to talk a little bit about the Ko-fi and some of the Ko-fi's benefits, and we're going to end this with talking a little bit about my Twitch streams. So if you're watching this as the Ko-fi trailer, please stick around a little bit through this first half in order to hear some of the benefits that are here for being a Ko-fi supporter. And if you're watching on the YouTube for the YouTube stuff, maybe stick around in order to see what the benefits of being a Ko-fi supporter are, and near the end we're going to talk about some of the plans for streaming this week. But before we get into all that, I'd like to quickly thank our existing Ko-fi supporters. Thank you at the base tier to Candlecorn, Saddlebag, Books and Smiles, and Barbara, and with an additional thank you to Destratos at the 1.5 tier, and a double thank you to Atomic Squid at the double tier. Thank you, thank you. Stick around till later in order to see exactly what benefits these people are getting for supporting me at these tiers. Now, let's quickly look at this week's content. So, I'm going to try out something a little different this week. Normally I go in meticulous detail over every single video that's going up this week. I'm going to not do that this week. I'm going to just sort of give you this, give a brief overview of what's happening in the week, and talk a little bit about this week's videos. I would also normally use this opportunity to highlight any videos that are above average length. Average length, by the way, is between 20 to 30 minutes. That's how long I try and make my videos currently. Excuse me. But I'm not actually going to do that this week, because almost every video this week is over 30 minutes. I got a little overzealous in a lot of the recording. We got a lot of, a lot of videos this week break an hour. We've just got a load of content for you guys going up this week. So let's just do a broad overview. So, for the Ko-fi supporter picked series, the series that is picked because the people who donate to me on Ko-fi voted for it, Hitman World of Assassination. We're currently deep in the 7 Deadly Sins DLC, and that's what we'll be doing this week, with a brief step away from that in order to go and try and do some of the elusive targets. Sorry, I'm just looking at a thing. Yeah, we're gonna step away. Other than that, it's all about 7 Deadly Sins this week. Then for the me-picked series, Fallout New Vegas, this week we are going to be wrapping up Old World Blues, and moving back into the Mojave and returning to helping out the boomers with their quests. Then moving on to the Death Stranding end, right now the videos are sort of the continued standard fare, but I can say something very affirmative here. We are in the end game. I have, as of now, recorded the final episode of Death Stranding's main story. We have finished it. The Discord picked series is finally done. The implications of that will be gone over in a little bit. And then for bonus content, we got the second episode of Ian a Dream Barbecue. Absolutely loving that. Thank you again to Saddlebag for highlighting that game was out now, even if it is just the first chapter. We have some of the Minecraft Bedrock edition, which I believe, hang on. Yeah, that is, I'm sad to say, that's the last episode of Minecraft Bedrock Edition going up. I think I talked about it in last week's weekly news update, but the reason I began playing this again was because it was a server with my friends. A bunch of my friends put together a server, we're playing, and they wanted me to join in. I was like, hey, if I'm joining in, can I stream it? And they're all like, yeah, and it was a good time. But something has gone wrong on Mojang's end, and more than half the players can't access the server, which is lame. We just can't play, and so that's kind of killed my motivation to be in that server, because that's what got me to do it. It was playing with my friends. If you really want to see more Minecraft on the channel, you can head to the Discord and vote for me to play Minecraft Hardcore mode there in the Discord vote. You could also donate to me on Ko-fi and request that I play it and then vote for it on the Ko-fi votes, or if you donate to a high enough tier where the... Sorry, I'm moving a little stiffly. I didn't take my allergy medication this morning. Hang on. Just quickly blew my nose. You could also donate enough... If enough people donate on the Ko-fi, I can bring back the Two Brothers series, and my brother would love to play Minecraft together. It's something we tried to do way earlier on in the channel, but things got hectic in our lives. On Wednesday, we've got Grounded with Doodlesar, with Borderlands with Doodlesar on Thursday. Friday, we have the second episode of Zelda Expanded. Because this series is a little less frequently, or a little less frequent, it's only the second one. Let me remind you all what it is. This is a art project where I am expanding the map from Zelda 1 using Zelda 2's map as reference to make it bigger. Words. This series only goes up every 3 weeks, so after this, next week, instead of more Zelda Expanded, instead we're going to be doing some Shadow Space. Then after that, we're going to do Tears of the Kingdom 2, and then more Zelda Expanded. So we'll have 2 weeks away from this, and then we'll return to it. I'd love for all of you to go and check it out, and give me some of your thoughts. Tell me what you liked in it, and what ways you think that I can make it go more interesting and more fun. But then we cap off this week on Saturday with another episode of Hero Infinite, and this episode's title is Man. Now, if you head to the Discord, I actually have put into the Discord a viewing guide, because you don't have to watch every episode of Hero Infinite to know what's going on in each episode. This episode, though, you kind of do... So this is episode 9, and I'd say to get the full context of what's going on in it, you have to have watched episodes 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 6, 7, and 8. So you can skip episode 2 if you want, and episode 0 if you want to watch this one. I know that's confusing. There's a viewing order guide on the Discord, like I said. I should actually find a way to make that be projected in these news updates, maybe next week. Hero Infinite, for those who aren't familiar, is my tabletop role-playing campaign of a superhero setting that is basically just cheesy fanfictions. But yeah, with that, we're now done talking about the weekly schedule. Now let's talk a little bit about... Come on. Hang on. Yeah, the Discord vote. So, the Discord vote. Let's start off by mentioning... 2 new options are available on the vote this week. Signalis and River City Girls. It's worth noting that there are, I think, over 100 things on for vote. These are all the different games that viewers have suggested I play. Because I can't play everything everybody suggests I play, I leave it up to a poll for people to pick. So if either of these games look cool to you, head on over and vote for them. They'll be right at the bottom of the votes channel in the Discord. And you can join the Discord for free down below. But now let's talk about the actual current standings. And this is going to be very important, because this, in first place with 10 votes, will be the game we play now that Death Stranding is done. Death Stranding 2. Now, I realize there's a problem with that. And that fact is that Death Stranding 2 isn't out yet. Not for a couple of months. And I may not be able to get it immediately on launch day, but I will be getting it as soon as I can. So, what are we going to do in the meantime? Initially, I was going to start playing the second place game, and then give that a break when Death Stranding 2 came out, or work out something, but I've come to another decision of something that was dancing around in my head through a majority of the latter half of my playthrough. We are going to bridge the gap with a Death Stranding mini-series of sorts. We'll do a couple of bonus videos. I, of course, need to make the sprite art for Death Stranding to go onto the channel banner here. I wouldn't mind making a potential little, like, tier listy type video about the characters in the game, because there's only so many characters, and I have a fun idea of a video that I think a few of you, especially Moth Cryptid, will enjoy. But the big thing I want to do to bridge the gap, I want to try and design a Death Stranding board game. It's something that I think would be a very fun concept, and I've got a lot of ideas in my head. So, in the coming weeks, after Death Stranding ends, and while we're waiting for Death Stranding 2 to come out, we're gonna work on that. I hope you all don't mind. It's just gonna be until Death Stranding 2 comes out, and then I'll tuck that aside as a bonus series to visit every now and again. But in the meantime, or for future reference, sorry, hang on. Just had to blow my nose again. What is in second place? Well, in second place with just one less vote, Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. We will be doing the remake, of course. We have already played through Paper Mario previously. And I will say that if Paper Mario: Thousand Year Door ends up being more voted for than Death Stranding 2 before its release, I will start playing this. And that means that if it gets 2 more votes, I will start a playthrough of it. Unless Death Stranding starts getting more votes right alongside this. So, you know, take that into account. Do with that what you will. And now, in third place on the poll, over on the Discord, again, this is the Discord vote, free for anybody to do. Halo 3 ODST. I've been playing through the Halo series. This is the next one on the chopping block. I'm very much looking forward to it. Meanwhile, in fourth place with 7 votes, these polls are very close. It would be so easy for somebody to upset the balance. We have 2 games, South Park: The Stick of Truth and Super Hot. I will say that if both of these wins, I'm leaning more on Super Hot just because it will be the faster playthrough. And then, in 5th place, yes, I've gone this far down the poll. Don't worry, this is as far as I've gone with the poll. With 6 votes is all of these games. These are all tying for the 6th place position. Alien Isolation, Cursed Halo, Halo 2 Uncut Mod, Dying Light, Oxenfree, Titanfall 2, Just Cause, The Lion's Song, Watch Dogs, Amnesia: The Dark Descent, V Rising, and The Witcher. So, you know, it'll be some time before any of these win, but there's plenty of time for the vote to be upset. But if this gives you all an idea of what game you would want to see me play, you know, head over to the Discord. Partake in the vote. It's free for you to do. While you're there, maybe take a look at some of my other content creating friends, stuff. I just realized, is that glitching on the side there? Never mind. I think the visual has a artifacting on the side. There, while you're there, go check out some of my other content creating friends. I have a friend Mizu, who's a VTuber, who also is on the Gas Network server. My friend Broditis does Pokemon Nuzlocke and Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card content. My friend Doodlezar does art. Atomic Squid hasn't really done anything in a while, but, you know, he's on there too. Go check out the Gas Network Discord. Talk to my friends. You know, partake in democracy to influence what I play, and give any suggestions of stuff you'd like to see over there. There's plenty of games on that poll that, despite somebody suggesting them, haven't actually been voted for. It's plenty of cases of somebody telling me I should play a game, but then not making the jump to go to the Discord and vote for it. As you've seen here, it would be very easy for you to change what is winning in the votes. Now, with all of that out of the way, let's talk a little bit about the Ko-fi. So this is the part that the Ko-fi the people on the Ko-fi trailer thing have been waiting for. Sorry it took us 14 minutes to get here, but now let's talk about why you should support me on Ko-fi. First off, where is your money going? To me and the channel. All money donated to me on the Ko-fi is directly going to helping me have a more stable living situation. As things stand right now, I am not doing good financially. I am very, very far behind on rent. Luckily, the people I live with are very forgiving and are helping to support me on that fact. But, you know, I don't like doing that to them, and I need to catch up on it. I'm currently working one job as much as I can, but I'm also trying to get a second job, and I just can't get hired because I'm an autistic fuck. So every penny is appreciated. I very much... It's appreciated. So... First off, if I have a couple of milestones here if we hit them. This is in total monthly donations. So if we can hit $1,000 monthly, I won't need to work a second job, and I can reduce my hours in my first job, which will allow me to dedicate more time to the YouTube channel. Once I get my second job, we might see a number of a number of these bonus series start to vanish. I might not be able to do Zelda Expanded regularly. I might not be able to meet with Doodlesar to record Grounded and Borderlands regularly. These series might start dying off if I am struggling too much. And worst case, I might have to cut Fallout from the channel, which would suck. But if you can get me to $1,000 level, that will be stability. That will be help. At that point, I will be able to begin putting away money to pay off my rent. I'll be able to dedicate significant time to this channel and just be able to do more for all of you guys and bring back some of the series that might have disappeared a while ago and ones that will probably disappear soon. I'm realizing a capitalization issue here. Luckily, because of the way I'm depicting this, I can literally fix it right now. Yeah. Next is the $2,000 a month goal. If we can get to $2,000 in monthly donations, I will be able to do this full time. I will be able to quit my job, and I will be able to dedicate everything to all of you. Just doing YouTube. If we do this, I will begin a second Ko-fi supporter series. So, like, again, bringing out the calendar. Right now we have a Discord pick, a me pick, and a Ko-fi pick. We will get a second Ko-fi pick right alongside Hitman. So if we got to $2,000 right now, I would immediately begin the Paper Mario Thousand Year Door playthrough without hesitation, and it would be going up concurrent, not Paper Mario. That's the Discord vote. I would immediately begin playing whatever's winning in the Ko-fi vote, which actually, hang on, I can take a look at that real quick. What is currently winning in the Ko-fi vote? Halo ODST, actually. That is what because over on the Ko-fi, people are currently voting between Halo ODST, Mass Effect, bringing back Nitro, House Flippers, World of Goo 2, and Turnip Boy Robs a Bank. So yeah, Halo ODST, we would begin a playthrough of that immediately if we got to this goal, and it would run concurrently with the Hitman playthrough. So, you know, I don't expect you guys to do this, but I would appreciate it. And right alongside it, I would be able to begin investing money into the channel. I would get a face cam. I would use that to do You Laugh, You Lose videos. I would maybe look into getting a VTuber model. I'd get a VR headset so I could play VR games for all of you. I'd begin upgrading my equipment, get a better mic, get better PCs so that streams can run a little bit more smoothly. And this would even facilitate the return of Two Brothers. The reason Two Brothers disappeared was, 1, I got way busier. 2, my brother became a dad. And those two things make it very hard for us to find windows where we can record together. If you ever want to see the end of Detroit Become Human, if you ever want to see my brother finish Outer Wilds, this is what is needed, I'm afraid, because we just can't find the time to stream together anymore, which is sad. And then lastly, if we can hit the $3,000 mark, that is where I will feel comfortable employing another person as a full-time editor. Somebody who will make edited down versions of content, make more shorts, help make my videos better by editing. So that's the stretch goals of the channel. But with that out of the way, let's talk about what's in it for you immediately. Anybody who donates money, whether it's a monthly subscription or just a one-off $1 donation, gets the following benefits. 1, you gain the ability to partake in votes. These votes are every single month, and they are cumulative, meaning the more months you support, the more votes you get, and the more you're able to influence what game I am playing. You also get access to post-stream news updates, and weekly news updates that are more informative than even the one we're doing right here. Oh god, sorry, I suddenly have my dinner just hit the bottom of my stomach and I have heartburn. I'm gonna take an acid. Quality content, I know. This is why I need an editor, guys. Oh yeah, an unmentioned benefit. If we get to $2,000 a month, I will have a more stable streaming schedule as well. I should add that to there in the future. But so like this is what your reward is. If you just hop over and throw $1 at me, you'll get access to all these things for 30 days. Now, what's the benefits of becoming a monthly supporter? Sorry, I'm chewing the acid tablet. So, if you become a supporter, you get, as you saw, shoutouts in the weekly news updates, as well as at the start of most streams. You get the ability to suggest what games appear in the votes. So the things that are being voted on by the Ko-fi supporters are suggested by monthly supporters. And you will also get credits in my first game when it eventually releases. I know I haven't been developing it for a while. I got to get back to it, but you know, that whole thing of not having enough time, I haven't been able to get around to working more on my game. I really do want to keep working on it though. If you support me at the 1.5 tier, you get all of the previous benefits. You also get a little sprite next to your name every week. You get early access to my fanfictions I am writing, and you get extra Heart of Action related content, such as character bios of Hero Infinite characters, and other mechanical things I'm working on. I currently have a vote going on that helps influence what I should be working on for that in general. So you guys are directly able to influence how Heart of Action is developing. If you join at the double tier, you get all of the previous things, plus an even larger piece of sprite art, plus you get an extra vote on all votes, allowing you to have more control over what games I play in the future. If you become a triple supporter, you get all of the previously stated things, plus a third vote on everything, and you gain the ability, you get a bigger sprite on next to your name, and you will get the ability to request characters to appear in Shadowspace and Hero Infinite. In the case of Shadowspace, we'd talk back and forth, I'd message you, and we would create a character who will appear as a side character in the Shadowspace narrative for the players to meet and interact with. In the case of Hero Infinite, for those who have been paying attention to the series, it is basically bad fanfiction, the campaign, full of everybody's favorite fictional shitty superheroes. So, if you supported this tier, you can tell me, hey, can you add James Gunn's Superman to the setting? And I'll put him in. You can be like, hey, can you add Twilight Sparkle from My Little Pony? And I'll put her in. You request the character, it gets added to Hero Infinite. And then there's the joke tiers. I don't expect anybody to donate at these tiers by any means, but I put them here inspired by one of my favorite YouTubers overanalyzing Avatar having made joke tiers that people actually donated to. So first off, if you didn't donate to either one of these, I'll cry! But let's go over the benefits of them. If you joined the absurd gold supporter tier at $100, you get all the previously stated benefits. Your sprite art will be upgraded to be a 40x40 sprite. You will get a fourth vote on all polls, and you will gain access to new gold supporter exclusive votes. I will also begin an additional playthrough dedicated to the gold tier supporters, and that's what those votes will be for, so you will be able to get me to play another game of your choice with less people being able to sway where it goes. You know, it'll be easier for you to make me play a game that you want me to play. And then there's the absurd don't tier at $1,000. It's called that because you shouldn't, but hey, you will immediately move us to one of our milestones and I will cry. You will get all previous stated benefits, a 5th vote on everything. Your sprite will become an 80 pixel by 80 pixel sprite. Which, by the way, you're allowed to update your sprites once a month to something new if you'd like. And I will just immediately play any game you want me to play. Name it and I will play it. I don't care if it's a porn game. I will find a way to make it work and upload it to YouTube. Also, this is the only way you will ever get me to play a Harry Potter game or a Five Nights at Freddy's game. So, there you go. If you want me to play fucking Five Nights at Freddy's, give me 1,000 buckaroonies. Oh, also, I forgot to mention, gold tier supporters, and, of course, the don't tier above it, which is also platinum tier, if you want to call it that. I prefer to call it the don't tier, because you shouldn't. But gold tier and platinum tier supporters will also be invited to play games with me live on stream and in recording. Things like Lethal Company, Minecraft, Tabletop Simulator, and maybe more. So yeah. Good times. Good times. Yeah. So that is that out of the way. I'm going to go ahead and bring the calendar back, and we're going to quickly talk a little bit about my current plan for this week's streams. Now, do note, everything I'm saying here could be inaccurate, because the streams very much change frequently. It's part of the issue of the instability of my streaming availability. So, take everything I'm about to say with a grain of salt. If you want to get a more accurate update, join the Discord and check out the news channel in the Ulrich tab on the Discord. So, current plan is, Sunday, the day that this is going up, we will be doing, Tears of the Kingdom 100 Years Later at 6 p.m. EST, followed by more Hitman World of Assassination on the same day. No stream on, oh wait, no, sorry, that's on Friday. That's last week. That stream should have already happened. Duh. I'm sorry. I'm looking at my streaming schedule. I'm looking at the wrong streaming schedule notes. Back up. Let me correct that. Sunday, April 20th, the day this goes up, at 3 p.m. EST, we should, if things haven't changed, be doing Hitman World of Assassination. Then, on Friday at 6 p.m., at Monday at 6 p.m., Monday the 21st, 6 p.m., we'll be doing Fallout New Vegas. The 22nd, Tuesday at 3 p.m., Hitman World of Assassination. Wednesday, the 23rd at 7 p.m., Shadow Space. Thursday, the 24th, no stream. Friday, the 25th at 6 p.m., Zelda 1 Expanded, followed by Hitman World of Assassination. And then Saturday, the 26th, no stream. This could all change at any time. Keep an eye on the Discord, especially because I'm still trying to schedule Hero Infinite as of when I'm saying this, so there will definitely be a change as soon as I know who I'm doing Hero Infinite with. So, you know, streaming schedule, very much not set in stone. That's just a rough idea. And now I'm just going to take a quick moment to talk a little bit more about hopes for the channel and things I would like to try and do. A lot of this is pending me being able to get Ko-fi supporters and me being able to, you know, have the time I need. I'd love to bring back the Sunless Sea series, Sunless Sundays. That's been on hiatus for far too long in my opinion. I love doing it. I'd love to bring back my game dev series, where I'm working on my own game, Marble Island Roll. Been far too long since I did any work on that. I've been really wanting to get together a group of friends to do a playthrough of Risk Legacy, because I think that would be a really cool thing to have on stream. Long-term viewers know I did attempt this way back, but that kind of fell through due to numerous issues at the time. I sort of stopped hanging out with a lot of my friends for a while due to a lot of issues going on in my life at the time that luckily are now sorted out and hopefully won't happen again, so I will still be hanging out with friends regularly with any luck. Yay! Yeah. I'd love to try and get back to doing things like Gary's Mod and Lethal Company with my friends, but a lot of that, the issue with that is I just don't have time to do those things, and I would love to do them again. And like I said, donating to me will help with that. I'd love to do You Laugh, You Lose stuff. I'd love to get a VTuber model. I'd love to do more for all of you. I'd also love to do art videos. I want to start sculpting miniatures. I want to make Micro Machine scale replicas of things from media. But that requires a lot of money and a lot of time that I don't have. And now I'm going to get a little bit vulnerable and talk about, you know, I struggle a lot. I'm autistic. I'm dumb. I can't function well in society. It results in me struggling to hold down a job and struggling to get jobs. I am struggling financially really bad right now because I lost my last 3 jobs due to my disability. And it took me a while to get the current job I'm in right now, and I still am not making enough money on just this job. I would really genuinely appreciate if you could throw any amount at me. But even if you can't make a donation, just you being here helps. Just you watching my content, just you sharing it with your friends. It means more to me than I could put into words. Anyway, hope you've all enjoyed this update. Hope all those of you who are watching this out as the Ko-fi trailer consider donating. Love all you very, very much, and ta-ta for now.